Hey, what's up guys? We are back with another episode of our submarine build. In this one, we are going to be kind of just detailing up the submarine a little bit. You'll see we're going to be adding a bilge pump and then just kind of putting some paint blocks in random spots everywhere, making it look a little bit spiffy. But in the meantime, the sub is on the workshop now. If you haven't seen, the link is in the description. So if you want to go ahead and play with it, just click that and download it. Let me know what you guys think. And if you do like these builds, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. I will keep creating these videos for you guys. And also stay tuned for the next build. I've actually started it. I think it's something that a lot of you will actually like quite a bit. So yeah, just kind of keep your eyes out for that. But we will hop in the build and then I'll cut back in and we'll talk a little bit more about what we're doing and why we did it. And yeah. Okay, so we'll hop back in. We'll talk a little bit more about what I just did. So, all the dark reddish, I guess we'll call it. Yeah, the dark reddish. All of that is the bilge pump system. So a lot of that is kind of redundant. There's a few pumps in a row because some of it pumps out to the sea and then some of it pumps out to the ballast. And I did this for two different reasons. The main reason is because in a lot of scenarios, if you are really, really deep in the ocean, it's going to be a smaller pressure gradient to pump into the ballast. And in that case, the pumps in the ballast are actually a lot stronger than the bilge pump. So vacating the ballast is easier if the water gets pumped from the hull into the ballast than straight from the hull into the ocean, if that makes sense. Either way, I'm kind of just yapping, but the bilge pump, it's working. I've tested that. It works at most depths, and we'll hop in later and I'll kind of show you guys more of what we did. But right now I'm painting up the water tank. So right here is a freshwater supply. And if you didn't catch it in the previous builds, we have a desalinator in the rear of the ship kind of mounted with all of the engine. And that is basically supplying fresh water to the ship. And this is where it's going to be stored. I also added an air tank to the left of this. You see that it's kind of pumped in kind of that gray pipe there with the valves on it. So I had an extra air tank there, and what that is for is actually to refill like scuba gear and diving gear. So there's a little manual valve. All you got to do is just flick the switch and it will start pumping from that tank into the scuba gear, as well as you can flip that switch and that can service backup oxygen for the engine. So kind of a multi-purpose there. It also helps to fill the space. And then you see here, I'm just kind of painting some stuff up, adding blocks, trying to detail it up. I try to kind of, as weird as this sounds, almost kind of cram the space in a lot of my builds. So if you've ever been on a ship, you notice that no space really goes to waste, which is why I really, when I build a lot of my boats, I try to do complete interiors and make use of all of the room and whatnot. But I also think it makes it feel a lot more realistic because, you're a lot of times you're making a lot of strange elevation changes and the walls aren't always straight and there's a lot of weird corners and the hallways aren't always parallel and stuff like that. So I try to kind of put a lot of junk on the walls and kind of make the hallways seem a lot more cramped than they really are. And I think that makes it feel a lot more fun and realistic on the inside. But this is the very start of this, so obviously this gets detailed a lot more. This is kind of just the main room here, this main ladder room where you get into the sub. But yeah, this is just the first of the many, or not many, but the few other rooms that we'll have to do. And this is more or less what a lot of them are going to look like. The one right in front of us is going to turn into an equipment room. And then the one after that is going to be kind of like a lounge and a communications office sort of thing. So, but that's just going to wrap it up for the building session of this video. And we will hop into the live play here. And we will kind of just walk around and see how we like it. So there's that little oxygen valve, and you see I spawned it with some water in it just to make sure our bilge pumps are working. And we're gonna just kind of walk in the cockpit. You see I added these kind of tinted lights. I like doing that too. I recommend doing that in a lot of builds. I've noticed people just kind of put these really bright, obnoxious white lights, and a lot of times that's not necessarily realistic, especially when you're in an inside setting. On the deck, this might be a different thing. Outside, it might be a different thing. But I also find with cramped spaces, you can play with the colors quite a bit and really change how the space feels. So a lot of times with the specific color palette I like to use a kind of orangish, reddish tinted light for darker areas. This cockpit, for example, is going to be a darker area, a lot of screens. You don't want a bright light dilating your eyes. It ruins your visibility at darker times. So that's kind of the thought with that. The rest of the cabin is going to have a much brighter kind of yellowy light, and I'll just turn it to night so you guys can see it. It's got this nice little reddish pink hue to it, and it lights it up, but it's also still kind of dark and dingy, But yeah, so that's that, and kind of just showing off the sub at night. And then in the later episodes, obviously we'll do this room and this room. and obviously I'll add some more details to the decking and paint blocks and stuff. But yeah, the sub is it's not too far off from being completed. Obviously we've got quite a few things to do here, but this is definitely getting pretty close to finished. And like I said previously, if you guys didn't see, it is on the Steam Workshop, so definitely go check it out if you want. You can see the finished product or ship. But in the meantime, I will definitely still be putting the rest of the build videos out. We're going to get these cranked out, and then I have another fun project in the works. And you guys will see a little bit more about that soon, but not quite yet. I want to get a little bit more done on it. But yeah, that's just about going to do it for this video. So thank you all so much. And if you do like the build, you like the videos, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps the channel out a lot. I really appreciate it. So thank you all for the support very much. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.